Have you ever looked at a problem in your community and just thought, man, someone should really do something about that? Well, today we're diving into a guide that shows how you can be that someone. We're going to break down how a simple idea can grow into a real force for change. So let's get right into it. We've all been there, right? You see a neglected park, or maybe a group of people who are being overlooked, and you get that little spark of frustration, that feeling in your gut that something just isn't right and it could be better. And that feeling leads to the biggest question of all. What if that impulse, that idea you just had, what if that's the very thing your community has been waiting for? What if you're the one to get the ball rolling? Well, that powerful urge to act, to find a new solution to an old problem, it actually has a name. It's called social innovation. And believe me, it's a movement that is completely transforming communities all around the globe. But let's be real for a second. That initial burst of excitement can fade pretty fast and turn into feeling, well, completely overwhelmed. The guide we're looking at today knows this. It says right up front, if you have an idea but feel totally stuck, you are not alone. That feeling is basically the starting line for every single changemaker. So what is social innovation exactly? Okay, this definition on the slide, it's a little academic, I'll give you that, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It's about finding new ways to solve tough problems. And this is the most important part. It's about doing it with the community, not just for them. It's collaboration, not charity. And don't think for a second this is just for small-scale projects. The scope here is massive. Social innovation is being used to take on some of the biggest challenges we face, from tackling youth unemployment and fighting inequality to welcoming refugees and protecting our planet. The potential is, well, it's pretty much limitless. Now, this is where things get really interesting. This is where the big idea turns into a real plan. The guide breaks down this whole journey into a clear, step-by-step roadmap that anyone can follow. And here it is, the 7-step blueprint. This is your path from a thought bubble to a real thing in the world. It starts with getting ready, laying the groundwork. Then research and planning, so you're not going in blind. Then it hits the big one, finding resources. After that, it's all about monitoring how you're doing, growing at the right pace, and finally evaluating and renewing so your impact lasts. Seeing it all laid out like this makes it feel, actually possible, doesn't it? Okay, a blueprint is great, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's dive into some amazing stories from the guide to see how these steps actually lead to incredible results. Let's zoom in on step 1, getting ready. One of the absolute smartest things you can do right at the start is to learn from people who've already done it. Why reinvent the wheel? Find a mentor. Here's a perfect example. In Norway, a branch of the Norwegian Trucking Association wanted to help integrate refugees in their rural town, but they had no idea where to even start. So what did they do? They just called up another branch in a different city that was already running a successful program. That mentorship was a total game changer. It let them adapt a model that was already proven to work, saving them tons of time and helping them sidestep common mistakes. Now, while every step is important, let's jump ahead to the one that can feel like a giant wall. Step 4, finding resources. How do you get the funding you need to turn your great idea into a real project? The guide tells this incredible story about a UK organization called the Growing Club. Their mission is so powerful. They help women from disadvantaged backgrounds get the skills they need to start their own businesses. But, even the best ideas need fuel to get going. And their strategy was just brilliant. Instead of asking for a bunch of money right away, they started small to prove that people actually wanted what they were offering. Once their courses were full, they took the next crucial step. They became a legally recognized company. And that one move opened up a whole new world of funding. And just look at the result. That legal status directly led to their first big grant, £10,000 from the UK National Lottery. That money wasn't just cash. It was proof that their model worked, and it gave them the fuel they needed to grow. It all came from that one smart decision. Okay, so once you've got some resources, you're on your way. Step 5 is all about monitoring your progress, making sure you're actually making a difference. And you absolutely cannot do that by yourself. You need a solid team. For a total masterclass in team building, we can look to Spain. A project called Impenta Artsieta was started to fight the problem of depopulation in a small village. Their entire success depended on getting the community involved, so they came up with this amazing organizational structure where everybody had a part to play. This table basically gives you the perfect template for any new project. You need a scribe to tell your story and show your impact. You need an accountant to keep the finances straight, directors to steer the ship, and a marketer to get the word out. Every single one of these roles is absolutely essential. So, we've talked about the what, the how, and the who. We've seen the big idea, the step-by-step plan, and some really inspiring stories. So now, let's bring it all back to you. After seeing all of this, the question isn't really, is this possible anymore? We know it is. The real question is, are you ready to take that first step? And here is the best part. You don't have to just guess what to do next. The guide gives you a simple, powerful tool to get you started right now, a checklist. This is your first concrete action item. The whole point of this checklist is to help you take an honest look at your project. You'll figure out your strengths, see where the gaps are, and know exactly which of the 7 steps you need to focus on first. It's the tool that turns a fuzzy idea into an actual, actionable plan. And that's where we'll leave it. You know, every big social movement, every amazing community success story, they all started the same way, with one person or a small group of people deciding to take that first step. So the final question isn't for me, it's for you. What change will you spark?